What's up, everyone? Mark de Koning here, bringing you episode 4 of Mass Over Comfort. This episode will be packed of informational gems that you can personally incorporate to improve yourself. Later on in this video, I will show you my new blood work and compare it to my previous blood work, share you the successes that I've had in recent weeks, and I'll tell you exactly what I did in order to get there. But first off, I will take you to the gym and take you through a workout of my new program. Furthermore, I will tell you what weight I am as of now and what the plan is going forward.
All right, guys, today we'll be trying a new gym. My own gym will not allow for any content other than on Sunday evenings. It's called King of Gym. I have no idea if it's going to be any good, but let's just go and have a look. All right, so this new gym is actually quite empty. It has a lot of room. I'll show you some B-roll in a bit. But this is actually perfect for a gym that you want to use in order to create content. So, the new program. I'm going to be reducing the volume by a lot. I will only be doing about 2 to 4 sets per workout for a certain body part. So in the case of back, for example, I would take two cool downs and maybe some rows. So first off, we start with a few warm-up sets. And then when I actually get to the point where I'm going to increase the intensity, what I'll do for the first set is take it all the way to failure. And then afterwards, I'll do partials, take a pause every now and then for like 5 seconds, and then get a few more until it makes no sense whatsoever or the form starts to break down. Then I take a break for like 3 to 5 minutes. And then for the second set, I'll also do drop sets in between partials, short pauses and whatnot. So today the idea is to do chest and shoulders. First off, I'm going to do a few warm-up sets. And after that, I'll show you those 2 different sets and what they look like. For chest, since it's a smaller group, I will only be doing 2 sets to the limit, not 4. That's only for back. That's why I mentioned back in the beginning to explain the difference. And then afterwards, I will be doing shoulders. I'm going to see if they have some nice side lateral raise machine. That's my favorite for shoulders. Maybe I'll do 1 set of those side laterals, and then afterwards I'll do a rear delt exercise. So yeah, let's get going. Let's start with a warm-up set. So yeah, it's been a while since I trained at full intensity. I've been cutting for a while and doing a deload, and now it's time to ramp up the intensity again. All right, so I'll do a few warm-up sets. Now I'll be taking you through the first variant of the workout, which is simply maxing out the weight, then partials, then incorporating a few short 5 to 10 second pauses, and then try and ramp it out until you're done. And then after that, I'll show you the other variant. Alright, so I'll take you to the second variant of this exercise. I definitely am not as strong as usual after my cut. Just simply drop it from 2 plates to 1, then a half. I'll do partials, pauses, everything in between. That's what the second variant looks like. All right, so surprisingly, we couldn't find any side lateral machine or whatnot. It actually has very, very little for shoulders. This is the issue of going to a new gym. You never know what you can find. Anyway, this is what we have to work with. I just do drop sets with the pin, and that's it. I just tried the machine though. It feels pretty uncomfortable. The positioning is a bit weird, so kind of do what you gotta do.
A few moments later.
All right, that was step one. Honestly, I'm not very impressed by the shoulder machines here. That second machine was also not well oiled. But yeah, like I said, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And now we know for the next time.
All right, if you made it this far into the video, then it means that you've just seen the gym footage. As I already said, this is a completely new approach for me. I've never trained this way before. The idea of this style of training is that at first, I am just using lower weights than I know I can handle. And I do those sets at high volume and I just keep pushing them. But I reduce the volume of the total amount of sets. So I used to do about 9 sets per body part per workout. Now I'm only doing 2. Except for when I train back. In that case, I'll be doing 4 exercises. Close to failure.
I have no fear of fainting in a gym.
And who knows, I might not actually enjoy this style of training. If anything changes regarding my program, I'll let you know. If I get any type of success with it, I'll let you know. That's exactly why I'm doing it. I've been going to the gym for 16 years and I still like trying new things. It keeps things interesting. All right, so let's go over the blood work. First of all, I'll show you the results of 3 weeks ago, which is 2 episodes ago, episode 2 of Mass Over Comfort. In that episode, I said that I know I can fix most of my blood work in just a few weeks.
I can fix it!
Today, I'll show you that this is exactly what happened. So, I'll grab the first sheet from the last time. As you can see, cholesterol, total cholesterol shows 236. Triglycerides are at 171. Now, this is the thing that I really wanted to reduce. The total cholesterol, I'm not worried about. Mine is almost always over 200. It's been like that for a long, long time. And honestly, as long as my VLDL and my ApoB test keep showing positive numbers, I'm not worried about this. However, triglycerides is something that we do have to tackle. So it was 171 3 weeks ago. Furthermore, you see AST and ALT. AST was at 34. That's close to the top of the range. ALT is at 46, which was slightly over the range. And then on another sheet that I'll show you right now, you see GGT was 27. 27 means that it's well within the range. For those of you that don't know, the way I always do my blood testing at least, I'll do AST and ALT. If one of these is elevated, but my GGT is in range, then I consider it a false positive or something not to worry about. If AST or ALT is elevated and my GGT would be elevated, that's when I'll take it seriously. So I'll show you what happened in the past 3 weeks. Here you go. Total cholesterol came down from 236 to 227. Like I said, I'm used to it being over 200, not a big deal. My triglycerides, however, went from 171 to 124, a drop of 47 points in just 3 weeks. AST went from 34 to 30, and my ALT, massive drop, from 46 to 29. It's a drop of 17 points. And here's GGT. it went from 27 to 19. 27 was already good, 19 is even better. Going back to the sheet, it shows you GFR at 59. And I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. eGFR is not reliable. I made a full video about this a few years ago on the channel. It's my best performing video. If you don't know the difference between eGFR testing and cystatin C testing, I highly recommend you to watch that video. So, 3 weeks ago, I did a cystatin C test. Let's look it up. It was showing 1.17. If you convert this to eGFR, it shows 70. 70 is already very different from the 59 that the eGFR test is showing. But I did cystatin C again now, 3 weeks later. It shows 0.964. If you convert this to eGFR, you get 91. That's really good. And again, GFR of this week also showed 59, which proves my point. That stuff is not accurate. Forget about that shit. Just do cystatin C testing if you're serious about your blood work. So, 91. 91 is perfectly fine. Anything over 90 is considered really good. Anything over 60 is still considered safe. Moving on. Prolactin, 3 weeks ago, 20.7. The male range, what we're watching here is the female range, showing 5 to 35. The male range goes up to 20. So there's a lot of men that when they get around 18, 19, 20, they start to get side effects, such as sore nipples, like tender nipples, maybe even lactating, having a hard time keeping erections, or having any libido whatsoever. It seems that I don't have any of these issues with prolactin at these levels. I'm perfectly fine, and believe me, I'm right on top of it. Anyway, I still wanted to tackle this, and I told you I would. 3 weeks later, we went from 20.7 to 18.7, a 2-point drop in just 3 weeks. So this time, I also tested insulin. The reason for that is because I was using retatrutide, and this is supposed to make you more insulin sensitive, which is very beneficial if you're about to bulk. It basically means it's going to make it much easier for you to gain muscle on your bulk because your food partitioning is just way better. It's much harder to build muscle if you have high insulin and a lot of inflammation going on in your body. Retatrutide lowers your insulin and it lowers inflammation. So it's not just a weight loss drug. All right, let's move on to the next sheet. First off, I'm going to be showing you the sheet of 3 weeks ago. Here you can see my hematocrit was 52.6. My hemoglobin was 18.2. And my white blood cells were slightly below the range. This range, at least. Moving on. These are my new results. It shows hematocrit at 55.1 and hemoglobin at 19.3. So these values actually got worse. However, I know exactly why that happened. So, in recent weeks, I've been cutting. And what I do during the mornings is not drink all that much water, just to make sure that my weigh-ins are accurate. I tend to hyper-obsess in the mornings to get an appropriate weigh-in. So I follow the same ritual. But this also means that if you go for a blood test, then you're slightly dehydrated. So it shows a higher value. I am not worried about this. I know many people worry about high hematocrit and hemoglobin on TRT. I'm actually planning to make a video that will launch next week, where I will specifically explain to you what to pay attention to when your hematocrit is high if you're dealing with testosterone. It will be a very in-depth video, just like the one that I made in the past regarding cystatin C testing, and I plan to deliver just as much value as I did with the one in the past. Again, for those of you that are just finding my channel now and have not seen the second episode of the series, why were my blood markers bad to begin with? So, I allowed myself to let loose for a while, and I smoked weed more often. In that episode, I tell you the specifics why I decided to let loose. For now, it's not important. In the recent weeks, I've reduced smoking instead of 4 or 5 times a week to once a week. And as you can see, this makes a big difference on my blood work. Additionally, I've been starting to take all of my supplements again. I'm doing fasted cardio every day. And basically, in general, I would just say that I'm doing everything that's necessary in order to be healthy. This is why I knew that I could manipulate my blood work in just a few weeks, because I know exactly what I need to do in order to be healthy. Next week, I'll be doing another test for my hematocrit, and I expect my hematocrit to be lower as well. This time I will be far better hydrated, and I'll be implementing several other methods that I'll be discussing in the hematocrit specific video that I just mentioned. Make sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on that video. Moving forward, what's the plan? I currently am 97.9 kilo. I cut 7 kilo in 6 weeks. I'm done with that now. I'm letting the retatrutide clear out of my system, and I'm now planning to do a maintenance phase for about 2 to 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure I lost some muscle mass during those 6 weeks by just maintaining on a dose of 225 milligrams of testosterone, which puts my testosterone at around 2500 nanograms per deciliter. I am sure that I can recomp at my current weight, slightly decrease my fat a little further while increasing my muscle mass again through muscle memory and the higher dose of androgens. And then a few weeks from now, I'm planning to start the actual bulk, where I ramp up the PEDs, ramp up the calories and whatnot. But for now, I want to enjoy my current lean physique for a few more weeks, use it for content, and then a few weeks from now, I'm going balls to the wall on a big mass cycle. And this is why you guys are watching this channel in the first place. And I'll be taking you on that journey, explaining to you exactly how I'll be mitigating all of the potential side effects. I'll tell you exactly what I'm eating, how my training is going, and I'll make sure that this is going to be very educational and entertaining for you guys to follow. So again, make sure to subscribe, click the bell icon, and I'll see you guys in the next video.